Hi guys! Today I'm answering your questions. Okay, let's start off here. Thank you, Indigo Traveler. Who is the better chef out of you and Nick? I will definitely have to say Nick. Yeah, he's a really good cook, and he cooks far more often than I do. No question, I'd say Nick. How old are you? Just curiosity. I am 32. So old. I've never really been the kind of person to care about getting older until this year. But when I feel like I'm getting really old here in New Zealand, all I have to do is just go to the supermarket and try to buy a bottle of wine and I'll always be carded. And the drinking age here is 18, so I find that pretty strange. And actually sometimes it's kind of frustrating because if I don't have my passport, they don't let me buy it. And then I'm like, no. But I guess for an ego boost, it's good. What kind of visa are you getting? It's a work visa through a partnership. So did you move to New Zealand? That's your home now? Well, so right now, yes, this is where I live. This is my home. Do you have any new backpacks you are using when you travel? I have two backpacks that I use and I have a video about them both. There's the e-bags carry-on backpack. I use that one still for if I'm going like on a short trip. And then the other backpack I have is a Kathmandu backpack. I'll link videos to both of them in the description below, but I use my more backpacking type backpack for the longer trips. Like when I was just traveling around Vietnam and Bali, I used that one. And I'm very happy with both of them. One of the things that I personally like is just having a zipper and something that can open kind of like a suitcase. That's what I prefer, but totally up to you, whatever you find best. What happens if you didn't get a work visa? Would you be able to stay in New Zealand or would you have to leave and come back to reset the clock for staying there? If for whatever reason I don't get the work visa, I mean, I think I'll get it. I'd be surprised if I didn't, but if I didn't get it, I think I'd have to leave New Zealand. If I wanted to just stay here as a tourist, I would have to leave and then come back because as a tourist, you can only be here for 90 days. So I don't quite know what I would do in that situation. Hopefully I won't have to figure it out. Thank you for saying good luck. I've been thinking about house sitting. Can you recommend a website or a company? Well, the website that I've been using right now is called Kiwi House Sitters and it's just for New Zealand. But there are a lot of different house sitting websites. There's one called Trusted House Sitters that I've looked at a bunch and most of them you have to register and pay a fee to be on the site. Any upcoming meetup in Christchurch? Ooh. Well, I don't have anything planned at the moment, but maybe, yeah, that would be fun. I would like to do another one. I really like meeting you guys in person and hanging out and talking about travel. So hopefully sometime soon there will be a meetup. From experience, what country would you recommend moving to from the US as an American? Well, I think it really depends what you're looking for. Are you looking to move for a job? Maybe it depends how old you are. If you can get a working holiday visa for somewhere, that's always a good option. Or you can look into teaching abroad, which is a really good way to live abroad, and then maybe just apply to a lot of programs and move wherever you get a job. Or maybe you want to go study abroad. That's a good way to live abroad. Yeah, sorry, I didn't really give you a good answer, but I'm just answering your question with a lot more questions. And thanks, Antoine. Do you Airbnb your place when you are house sitting? At the moment, no, because Nick and I just rent a room in someone else's house. So that wouldn't really work out. And that's one of the cats who lives here. But yeah, so it doesn't really work out. If we had our own place, that would be a really good option. And then you could actually be making money while you're away, but haven't done that yet. Where in Southeast Asia would you recommend as a must-see the most? Where do you wish you had avoided? I also got a similar question from Hannah, who's also asking about Southeast Asia. Wow, there's so many good places. I just love Southeast Asia in general. I personally really love Thailand though, and it's the first place I ever went in Southeast Asia, so it always is gonna hold like a special place in my heart. But I really liked Vietnam. I thought Vietnam was super easy to travel in and just so many different types of things to see and do. I'm really bad at these kind of questions because I'll just start to list everywhere and then, what else? Cambodia is worth seeing as well, Angkor Wat. And 4,000 Islands in Laos was really cool, and so is Luang Prabang. So That's really no help. Where do I wish I would have avoided? Well, Vang Vienne was probably my least favorite place, but I don't regret going there. I'm still happy I went there because you never know what you're gonna like or not like until you're there. So, I don't know, and I know a lot of people who actually really liked it there. Oh no, actually, if I could go back in time, one place that I wish I would have avoided is that last hostel I stayed at in Bali where there were bed bugs. If I could change one thing, I would not have stayed there because that was just a situation that I'd rather not have dealt with. So yeah, other than that though, you can't really, it's all just a part of travel though, so you take what you know, yeah. How do you house sit and travel? Where do you find the houses? And it's free, you mean everything. And how do you find houses in different countries? So I talked about this a little bit already, but basically there are these websites like Trusted House Sitters, that one is worldwide. And there are a lot of other ones too. So how you find it is you just go on, look for wherever you want to go, look up houses, but then usually you have to register for the site. It is free, but it usually comes with responsibilities and things you have to do. So it's not just like, yeah, free house, woo! You know, it's usually looking after pets. You have to really look after their home and leave it really clean and tidy. It's also one of those things where I think it can be hard to get started because people pick people to watch their house who have a lot of reviews and references. And if you don't have any of those, it's hard to start off. So just start kind of small. If you know you want to do it while you're traveling, do some things around where you live and build up some references, and that will help you out. It's not as much of a last minute kind of thing. People usually plan in advance. Do you have to book the flights in advance when flying within Vietnam, or did you just buy at the airport? Also, same with hotels, and was it booked in advance? I booked my flight within Vietnam before I got to the airport. I only booked it like a day before. You could probably just buy it at the airport. I know when I've been in Thailand and I was doing flights within Thailand, I booked flights at the airport and it was fine. Same with hotels, was it booked in advance? I book things usually like a couple days in advance, but I do prefer to book something before I get to a place because I just personally don't like that feeling of arriving to a city and then trying to figure out where I want to stay. So it depends on the time of year though, because sometimes things could be a lot busier and you can't just kind of walk up somewhere and book an accommodation. They might be all full. So you said you're going for the Lunar New Year, and I don't really know, but that sounds like maybe it could be busier. So maybe try and book some things more in advance. I don't know. Have you tried the gourmet donuts from that bakery in Littleton? No, I have not yet, but I've heard they're so good. I also asked on my Instagram for any questions, so now I'm just gonna check those out. Can you purchase any plane ticket and then cancel it for the countries that you need the exit ticket? No, you cannot. That's something that's very tricky. When I've done it through my credit card rewards points portal. So I know for sure that those you can cancel within 24 hours, no problems, no questions asked. Every airline is different though. Some airlines won't let you cancel within 24 hours, or some of them maybe you have to purchase a more expensive ticket, like a first class ticket or something like that. Also, if you book through a third-party website, that's tricky as well. So I would just make sure you read all the fine print in wherever you're trying to book. There's also some companies online that I don't know what they're called. I've never used them personally, but you pay like $10 and they will book an onward flight for you and then cancel it for you. And so they kind of deal with all of that, but you just pay $10 and they give you something. So if you don't want to have to bear that responsibility on your own, there are websites that do this for you. The most useful purchase you've made in relation to traveling. I think it would have to be the portable battery charger for my phone, because my phone is old and the battery does not last very long at all. It's just a really nice feeling to know your phone's gonna be charged all the time, because I rely on my phone a lot for maps and getting around and just all sorts of things. So for me, the external battery charger is probably the most useful thing that I have. I'll put a link to the one that I have in the description below, so check it out if you want. Last question from Ed. Do you travel in the US much? If so, what places would you recommend for a new traveler trying to get their feet wet? Yeah, I do travel in the US. Actually, my number one thing to do in the US, that if you've never done a road trip across the US, because That's such a good way to see it. So many different places, and the landscape in the US just changes so much as you drive across. And there's so much to see and so many national parks. I would say if you're just trying to get used to traveling, a road trip is so nice because you kind of have the comfort of your car, but you can go to all these places and you're seeing all this new stuff, but you can kind of leave whenever you want to and you can do whatever you want, and it's easy. Another thing though, if you've never been to New York City, is one of the most amazing places in the world, I think. And there's so much to see and do, and it's just so jam-packed and so much going on. All right, so those were your questions. I hope the answers were helpful to you. I don't know, I think I just ramble. I've been thinking about maybe I should start doing like a Q&A live stream. Let me know in the comments below if that's something that you'd ever be interested in, because I don't know, I probably will just ramble way too much if it's live stream, and I don't know if you really want to watch that. But maybe you do, so let me know. Also, let me know if there are any video ideas that you have that are just things that you really want to know about, or things that you like seeing me do, or I don't know. And I'm gonna pick 2 random people in the comments below and send them stickers. These stickers. If you're not subscribed, then subscribe for more videos from me. Still coming up, we've got van renovation. Whenever we buy a van, that's gonna happen, I swear. I hope. I hope you're all doing well and happy travels. I'll see y'all later. Bye.